Hello, beautiful fellow warriors of love. So, a few updates. Okay. Um, there's a video that went viral of Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, who is a freedom warrior, who is spiritual, who is conscious, and who talked about chemtrails. So those things that you see in the skies that didn't always used to be there. For you millennials who grew up only knowing that, there was a time where you'd look up at the sky and not see trails everywhere. So contrails, chemtrails, research that if you're not aware. Oh my God, it started snowing. Wow. First time seeing snow this year. I just had a flashback to when I was 17, when I first came to Canada and saw my first snow. I put my hand out and a snowflake landed on my glove and it looked like a marijuana leaf. And I was like, God's telling me to smoke weed. Anyways, so he talks about these chemtrails. He's like, in an interview on TV, he's like, yeah, so I noticed these, I can't do a Prince impersonation. I'm good with impersonations, but not Prince. It's like all these chemtrails are happening. And then people in the block start fighting. I don't know, he just says something about people in his neighborhood start quarreling and arguing with each other. So he's saying that part of the impact of these chemtrails, and this guy's an intelligent brother, he's not stupid, he's not, using his time on TV to say something stupid. But you do the research, you be the judge of that. And then today, I go into a bus, and literally I witnessed that. Before that, maybe 5 minutes before that, 10 minutes before that, I smelt, I know what chemtrails smell like. They smell like skunk mixed with weed, mixed with chemicals. I've smelt it many times before. And so as soon as I smelt it, I covered my mouth so I don't breathe it. Lucky, I just started smelling it right before going into the subway. But I knew that was it. And then there's these two black guys in the bus. I mean, it doesn't matter where they're from. But one's just younger, attitude, blasting music. The other one's an older gentleman trying to tell him not to do that, and then it just escalated really fast. And then another Hispanic brother in the bus was jumping in, trying to school the young kid. I have confronted people before. With this one, I was like, I'm just gonna plug my earphones and drown out the noise. But he was really obnoxious, and felt like he might have had was feeding off of the negative energy, which is not our essence. That's more when you have a demonic energy. And it's messed up because a lot of the music nowadays is demonic. So yeah, listen to demonic music. You now have entities. Now you're feeding off negative energy. It all connects. So I just felt him being this entity on him that wanted to suck our energies. And I was like, I didn't feel it's talking to him. A part of me wanted to be like, hey bro, just come to the back with me here. Let's just chat. But another part of me was like, I don't know if he's even open to that. And then another part of me started doing some distance exorcisms. So is there a connection between, I don't even know where I'm going. Is there a connection between chemtrails and people acting out in their worst behaviors? Oh, I'm supposed to go this way. I'd love to know your research on that, or your thoughts on that. I would love your thoughts on it, knowing something about chemtrails, not from a completely oblivious, I don't even believe in chemtrail. But even you, why not? Let's hear your thoughts. Okay, the next thing. I posted on Facebook saying, hey guys, rest assured that there is a reason why they provoked the world to be the way it is right now, where it's people for Palestine and people for anti-Gaza and all that. That's by design. Rest assured, it's by design. It's going to create divide and conquer. And the motto these guys use and have been using forever, since Hitler burnt down that wall and used it to control the Germans and create Nazi Germany. And September 11th, it's called, September 11th, buildings come down, blame someone else, take control, take more freedoms and control of your population, your citizens. So same thing now. It's called problem, reaction, solution. I'm actually going to do a rap song. And verse 1 will be problem, second verse will be reaction, third verse will be solution. But so that's what these guys do. They create the problem, they wait for us to freak out, and then they offer the solution. And I'm sitting there waiting, being like, okay, I'm not buying this the way most people are, and I'm wondering, what the plan is. And then I see it today on TikTok. Irish Prime Minister, or whatever the fuck they have over there, was like, okay, to the Irish people, we are going to take away some of your rights and control some of your speech in order to not create harm towards other people. What is this? This is Big Brother. This is 1984. This is controlling what we can say and can't say. This is taking control to a whole next level. You are allowed to say this, you're not allowed to say that. That is control. That is demonic. That is not from love. You should have the right to go. I just saw an Israeli flag. I'm like, you know what? If I was born Israeli in Israel, I might do both actually. I might be pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli at the same time. No, I wouldn't, honestly. If I was born in Israel, I would probably, based on how I am in this life, questioning everything and always siding with the underdog, I would be pro-Palestinian. But my point is, I was trying to do that thing where it's like, hey, if I was in your shoes, but it didn't work. Trying to wing getting back home, and I'm not aware. Okay, so so Israeli flag, great. Share your Israeli flag. Palestine, great. Put up your Palestinian flag. Show your solidarity. Freedom to express your opinion. And I can look at that flag and go, you know what? It brings up stuff for me. A Native American could see the Canadian flag and go, that's an oppressive flag for me. But we live in a world where we're free to do that. So that's one of, usually when they do these create a problem, offer a solution, the solution is to take more power and control. And I'm already seeing it right now. So Israel uses Hamas to create more fear for their citizens, and with more fear equates to more control. And best believe everything they're doing to people in the psychiatric world, people who end up in psychiatric wards get experimented on to probably see how people can be controlled. Nazi Germany, was figuring out how to use trauma, MK Ultra, to create like a slave human. So all this information they've been doing in these dark experiments that are, behind the scenes, whether it's psychiatry, pharmaceutical, whether it's movements like Nazi Germany, whether it's governments, they use that information and then they use it on the population. And I might have spoken about this before, but just watched Napoleon the other day, and I did a video earlier talking about a Freemason character, Robert De Niro. If you guys didn't see that, check it out. It's the last video. It's an hour long, but lots of wisdom. And in that movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, which I believe is based on a true story about how a Freemason was killing out all these wealthy Native Americans because they had oil money, and how he runs shit in that town, right? All these connections he had. He was like, I'm unstoppable. I could keep killing, and I'm not going to get caught. And sorry, before I forget, best believe all the things they do to Palestinians a lot of times when they take Palestinians to prisons, best believe all the things they're doing, all the technologies they have, probably technologies we're not even aware of, it's like a test ground. They use Palestinians, as a way to test how to oppress humanity. So if you're not pro-Palestine, you're sitting there just allowing people to get better and better at oppressing humanity, oppressing any civil population that tries to resist oppression. Because whatever they learn there, guess what? Then they start selling that information to other countries. Look it up. Actually, maybe good luck finding any information about that. So if you're anti oppression, even if you're an Israeli citizen and you're aware that that's what they're doing, and that they're using that information and knowledge on you as well, because guess what? If Israel wanted Hamas gone, they would have destroyed Hamas a long time ago. Why does Israel need Hamas? To keep their, because when there's like a boogeyman, you can control your population. If they wipe out Hamas, there's no more boogeyman. Then they'll realize who the real boogeyman is, their own government. So they need Hamas. America needed, Al-Qaeda, needed ISIS, needed communists, whatever, always something, needed the Viet Cong, needed the Japs, needed, the Russia, we said Russia already, communists. It needs the other in order to continue. And I was walking by today and I saw the police station in Toronto has a Freemasonic, the Freemasonic sign embedded in its logo. So best believe they're running shit and getting away with whatever they want. And then in Napoleon's movie, I spoke about the video yesterday where he has a picture of one hand. If you ever see this, that's a Freemasonic, someone who's a Freemason, and Napoleon has a famous picture doing that. And I was like, okay, Freemason, just learned yesterday that the Freemasons are getting away with killing people and in that movie. And then I was like, but on a bigger scale, I spoke about the video yesterday, how you could do small sacrifices and gain a little power. But I'm talking about countries that are doing next level sacrifices. And best believe Napoleon was a puppet. The movie, first of all, didn't depict him as part of a society and they're all masterminding things together. It kind of depicted him as like a solo guy. And the propaganda in it is that, because it's all about women empowerment now, so it's like the only reason it was able to be made is because they made it about, there's a phrase that he is nothing without his woman. And I love that. I love that term. I spoke to my dentist today. I was like, I only want to work with female dentists. I'm a feminist. I was like, I'm a feminist since I love my mom. And so I love that, but that's someone who, this powerful emperor is nothing without a woman. I guess that's debatable, whether it's, I'm just saying, like, nowadays you will not have a movie that's all about a toxic masculine empowerment if it doesn't have something to do with either women or black people or anything about gay people, because that's the agenda. And there was this beautiful meme that I saw that shows, I think it's Vanguard and BlackRock that own everything we're watching. And best believe they have an agenda to push that. We talked in the video yesterday about how movements like Black Lives Matter and now the Palestinian movement are being weaponized against us. And the gay agenda, look it up, it sounds crazy, but if they can brainwash everyone to believe that, like, it's normal to be gay, but it's not. But it's normal to be gay. I have no, it's normal to be gay, and like if you're gay, you're gay. It's normal, but it's. I think they're trying to normalize it, like it's 9 out of 10 people are that. That's where it's like, wait a minute, why are they trying that hard to make it like 9 out of 10 people are gay? That's the agenda, and that's what you can look into. But anyway, so Napoleon at the end of the movie was responsible for the deaths of 3 million people. War is like a deity that these guys worship. And when they send their, when I was watching it, all the French people were like, Viva, they didn't say Viva la Revolution, but they were like, to the Emperor Napoleon, like, Viva la France. And it's like, they kill off the monarchy, they kill off the queen, and then they get this new Freemason puppet to go around and get innocent French men to go fight for his causes. So the question is, who does he work for and who's benefiting? We got to follow the money trail. So who's benefiting from all these wars? Like, to these guys, there's another movie, one of my favorites, called the name Count of Monte Cristo. And in that movie, there's a scene with Napoleon, and he's like, there's just kings and pawns, something like that, right? They're saying everyone's either a pawn that you use to move you forward, or you're a king, and you're the one. I think he made it more like, there's the noble king that we all have in us as an archetype, and then there's the toxic king who's like using everyone for, like how they depicted Napoleon to be a little narcissistic in the movie. So 3 million, and he was a Freemasonic puppet, so that's an organization that's running stuff behind the scenes. You won't see who's really behind the scenes. You won't. You can't see what's behind the scenes because it's unseeable unless you've got your third eye wide open. Then you'll see these demonic entities. But until then, it's just history. Look at history. Someone rises to power, tells his people to go fight for this war. All these people die. You win wars, you lose wars. But who's really winning are these entities. They're feeding off of humanity, suffering. Like, one soldier dies. That family is now suffering for the rest of their lives, maybe struggling for the rest of their lives. And all the dark ages that we went through and all the stuff that comes from war. Who's winning? These entities are loving it. They're feeding off of the trauma. And so no one wins in war. No wars. I mean, the only war I would say is justified if someone is coming to, if I'm living in a village, let's say, and someone's coming in trying to kill us, and we rally up and we fight them. We do our best, maybe not to harm them, but if it's kill my family or kill you, might have to be kill you. That's the only time I say war is justified. But when you question all these wars that have happened in history, how much of them were just ego? One person saying, I want to conquer the world. And then all these people, like, we just really need to unsubscribe from that program of, yes, I will fight and die for my country. Like, this pride. Like, whenever they would do a cheers, like a chant, they'll be like, for our pride and glory, and like all this fucking ego shit. True freedom, yeah, fight and die for true freedom, but don't fight and die for a puppet whose masters are dark entities. Don't do that. Let's break that cycle. 3 million, right? So this person is written in history books as some noble hero. We all studied about him. I even remember I had to do an assignment, so I just copied and pasted a bunch of stuff online about Napoleon and said, this is my homework. Thank God for Google at the time. thank God for Google. That does not sound like a good statement to say. um, so, and best believe, speaking of Google and Facebook, and like best believe all these people are serving their dark lords, and they make it seem like everything's independent, that Google is independent of Facebook. They're all working together. Apple, wow, these entrepreneurs that do acid and they have this enlightenment, they're innovative. Yes, they could be all those things, but even in the movie Steve Jobs, you can see he starts stressing out, like someone put, like as if like the CIA came up to him and is like, we're taking over. And like sometimes you see Mark Zuckerberg in interviews just sweating and freaking out. It's as if maybe these guys started off, that way. I mean, I don't feel that way. I feel people are chosen not by chance, that they were groomed. Maybe there's off chances that they weren't groomed for those positions. But best believe that they would get compromised based on the power that the CIA has. So 3 million sacrifice, Napoleon. That's high level black magic. Freemasonic, right? So how do I conclude this? I think it's really important we tune in and ask ourselves, what are we really wanting here? Why are we here? What is our purpose? What is our goal? Because if yours hasn't changed in the last 20, well, we need to adapt because it's a new world. So that means our focus could be something new focus, new goals. And these goals, I think we need to expand our vision of what's possible. Oh, here's where I'm supposed to be. So yeah, what is the new goal? What is the new vision? What are your new priorities? How can you focus on making that happen? Love you guys.